how did you start thinking about working internationally? And it's something that I'm like personally interested in. And I'm curious if you can talk about what that experience was like and
Yeah.
kind of transitioning really far away from home. And
When I found myself at the bank, that was a internationally positioned business. They were a global business. That's where I would say, my professional business travel really started. We live in a different world now, particularly when I started my career, in terms of what the opportunity is to work and travel. And there are a number of paths, I think, that weren't available to me. And one is you don't actually have to be physically present anymore if you want to have a remote role. So
totally.
it gives you the ability to travel without being funded or tied to the organization. But there's some pros and cons to that. And one con is that you lack direct exposure to the organization. I think over time, we will find a little bit of a balance of, if you aspire to become more influential in a company, spending time in the company it's still important to do that, right?
For sure.
So that's a bit of a balance there. The more traditional path is going to be to suck it up a little bit early in your career and join a very large company that is looking for people with flexibility that can be positioned more globally. And that is really kind of how you're going to start to get a little bit more travel. And the traditional businesses which provide that kind of opportunity aren't difficult. They tend to be large consulting companies, global banks, global businesses, the ones that are a bit more dynamic. The trade-off comes, though, that working at large companies has a different cultural impact to kind of what you can expect, how fast you might be able to move. So you have to balance that. And then the last opportunity, I think, if you're willing to really kind of be, put some risk into your career, is, look at the West Coast or any area where there's a large startup culture. Find a exciting startup with lots of deep funding, and those tend to be also very dynamic.